Sup boys? So it's been a minute, but I'm back out here again in the treehouse, and today I wanted to make a video and share with you guys the answer to the big elephant in the room question, the big thing that everybody's been asking: why have I taken a break from streaming? What was the decision-making process regarding that, and everything else in between. I did make a Twitter video talking about this a little bit, but I didn't really go into detail. I just talked about, just generally, okay, yeah, it's kind of like this is why, but I feel like at this point, I just kind of want to share and be completely transparent about why I actually took a break and what my decision-making process was behind that. And you would think, right, because everybody, not everybody, but there have been a lot of people who have come up with their own reasons on why I took a break. And you would think that, in the old adage of, you give a monkey enough time, an infinite amount of time, they'll eventually write Shakespeare, somebody would eventually get it right. No, nobody has gotten it right. Nobody has guessed the real reason why I stopped. And I kind of take a little bit of pride in that because I've masked it that way. And it's not something that's completely out of left field, but it's an event that happened that did kind of make me reevaluate my entire life and change the way that I looked at things. And it happened about a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. It's kind of hard really for me to remember when specifically. And before I get into any of that, I do want to say one thing. It's like, whenever you go to the supermarket and you see the Us Weekly, the National Enquirer, Gordon Ramsay having gay sex with a male badger, all these weird fucking stories, probably not true, but they're all the time out there and people are talking about it, and I'm sure it makes those people in the magazines very uncomfortable. And I will be honest, I'm not a celebrity, I'm not a, big important person to be on the cover of one of those magazines, but it still makes me very uncomfortable too. All of these people that have come up with their conspiracies and everything of why I've taken a break, I don't really appreciate that. I don't at all, especially considering that I think a lot of them are riddled and, laced with a personal agenda. But before I get too far into that and, get into all of that bullshit, I do want to say, I am a normal guy. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a god on Mount Olympus. I am a normal guy sitting in front of my shitty phone that's on a, what is this? It's literally a moldy lawn chair. Not really moldy, but, dilapidated lawn chair that's been out in the yard for weeks now, probably months now, sitting in my tree house that my dad built for me, in the house that I live with my mom. I'm 28 years old. I live with my mom. I'm a normal guy, right? That's not really normal, right? But at least I would hope not. But I live with her because I take care of her. A lot of people think that it's because of like a money thing. I just, for anybody who doesn't know, my mom doesn't really have the best time getting around all the time, needs help with some stuff, and that's why I live here. I support her entirely and take care of her, and it's basically why I do live here with my mom. But what you need to understand is I'm a 28-year-old guy that lives with his mom in Austin, Texas. I'm not a crazy weird brand or personality or a company or anything. I'm just a guy. And if you want to do your boy a solid, just treat me that way. I'm just a guy. That's all. I'm just a guy. And I have my weaknesses, I have my strengths, and I have a lot of things that are in between. And I think people have elevated things up to a degree that makes me actually quite uncomfortable. I just want to chill out most of the time and relax and make videos and have fun. And it seems like a lot of times, especially recently, people bring their own personal agendas and everything into my stream and into my content. And I'm going to try to do a very good job at keeping that out of there. I've always viewed like my stream, and the best personification or metaphor for my stream is my Asmon L emote. It's like, it's stupid, it's goofy, it's harmless, and it's just funny, right? There's not this grand, political agenda that I'm trying to promote. There's nothing like that. I'm just trying to have fun and hang out and just do something and hang out with the boys, right? And at a certain point, I feel like people have tried to take that and make that something that it's not, or something beyond that. And I would really appreciate if people kind of took a step back and just let me do my own thing. And I don't really need a lot of people telling me how to live my life. Obviously, I'm not perfect, but I don't really think a lot of the people that are writing essays about how I'm not perfect are perfect either. So, just guys, give me a fucking break, relax, chill out. Now that I've said that, I do want to talk about the real reason. And this is something that I haven't really ever talked about. I talked about like one time tangentially on my stream, but never like directly. About a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer or whatever, this was like at 4 a.m. I had taken an Ambien the night before, and I'd gotten up, you know, maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and I was walking down to the convenience store to buy a drink. It was like 4 a.m., dude. I was fucking pumped. I was going to get back home, eat a pizza, play WoW until 7 a.m. Man, going big dick all night. I'm walking down to the store. I feel a really weird feeling in my chest. And like my heart rate felt weird. It was the first time in my whole life that I felt mortal. Before that, I had some teeth pulled out before then. I had taken hydrocodone. I overdosed on a hydrocodone to the point where I was having cold sweats. I was on the ground screaming with my arms and legs going numb, my vision going away, just terrified. And then it went away, and I was filling out a tax form before it happened. I had the overdose, got back up, finished the rest of it. Fuck it. Didn't bother me at all. But there was something about this moment that happened that night. It just completely changed my whole perspective, right? As I said, it was the first time in my life I ever felt mortal, right? I ever felt like, oh my God, I can actually die right now. And it was completely terrifying, and it changed the way that I looked at basically everything. It really, really bothered me and fucked me up. And at that point, I had wanted to take a break from my stream and just stop and just kind of take a step back and do what I wanted to do and be myself for a while. But I felt like because my stream was going so well, I just couldn't do it. And so I just sat there, I grinned and bare it, and I was just like, fuck it, let's just keep moving forward. Doesn't matter if I feel bad or not, I'm going to do this no matter what. And I did. I did for a very long time, for over a year. I did. And it was something like, you know, I thought about it every night, and I still think about it very regularly. For everybody, anybody then, like, probably is going to ask the question, did you go to the doctor? Yes, I did. I went to the doctor, they checked me out, they said everything was perfectly fine. I did blood tests, other tests, everything. My blood was perfect. I don't even know how that's possible, right? I thought they would just draw blood and it would just be Dr. Pepper. But no, somehow all of my blood work, my blood pressure, all of the other tests, like x-rays and the other, there's a couple other tests they did on me too, I don't really know what they're called. And everything was perfectly fine. It was just that one moment. I guess it was the Ambien, I don't really know, but it just completely terrified me. This is the only time in my life that I've sort of really been scared, right? I mean, there's been times like, oh my God, that's a wasp, it's right next to my face, right? But this is, you know, a different, there's like there's being scared and then feeling dread, and I think it's, you know, part of the dread. Maybe it's a better way to explain it. And it had been eating away at me for a long time. And I had just felt like I didn't really know what I was doing with my life. And at the point of like BFA, like right before BFA came out, I was going to take a break. Because there's a reason why, like, you think about like on my main YouTube channel, I'd stopped making videos on my YouTube channel. Why did I do that? It's because I thought BFA was going to suck. I had no real excitement about the expansion. Boy, was I right. Holy shit, boy, was I right. That's one of the reasons why I stopped making the videos. I would have just taken a break then, but my stream was going so well. I was like, you know what? Just fucking keep going. Doesn't matter how you feel. Doesn't matter what happens. Just fucking keep going and keep doing it. You know, the mentality I had with the hydrocodone, right? Overdose and get back up and keep fucking going. And it just beat me down, and it beat me down, and it beat me down. and at a certain point, I just needed a break. It's been something like, honestly, I told myself anytime that my stream sees any sort of stagnation, not even a decline, just it becomes stagnant at all, I'm going to take this break. And if I come back and things are worse, fuck it. If things are better, great. But I just needed, I needed to take this break just so I could reevaluate my life. It's been something I've wanted to do for a year. That's probably the biggest component, right? If none of the other components were active, and it was just this, I still would have taken the break. And if everything else had happened and this didn't happen, I wouldn't have taken the break. Obviously, it's confounding variables, but this is the straw that broke the camel's back. And it was the main reason. That one event just completely changed my life. And it just totally fucked me up, like, entirely. And I'm not 100% better now, but I'm better than I was 6 months ago or a year ago, absolutely. And anyway, I'd also be lying if I didn't say it was because the BFA sucked. Imagine putting 30,000 hours into a game. It sucks dick. I guess there's a lot of people that play RuneScape, but still, oh my god, dude, how did they do that? And it's just like my interest in a game, it started to wane whenever they added Thunder Forging into the game, right? And then they added the War Forging, and it's like, my goal for raiding, my goal for playing video games is always to have the best gear, to be the best at the game. And I would do that in raiding. I would get all the best gear. In Dragon Soul, I had best in slot. And, you know, other points in time, I had best in slot. I was done. It was awesome. It felt great. And every single time that Blizzard put something in the way of that, it reduced the enjoyment that I felt out of the game because I knew that I was never able to complete my goals. And whenever they introduced Warforging plus sockets and Wards Draenor, that's whenever I really did kind of start to lose interest because I did the math in my head. It's like, what are the chances of this item dropping? What are the chances of the item dropping with the socket and with the Warforge? It's just like, what are the odds? It's not going to happen, bro. And if it does, it's going to happen with one item and not all 17 or whatever that you need. So I kind of lost a lot of interest there. Then Legion came out and Titan Forging came out, was released. And raiding at that point was no longer the end-all and be-all of getting gear. And that also kind of demoralized my interest in the game. And Tomb of Sargeras, I ended up stopping raiding because of my stream mainly, and then also just because I was kind of tired of it and I felt like I was wasting my time. And BFA comes around, I come back to raiding, and I spend like 6 hours, 5-6 hours streaming every day. Then I go and I get dinner, and then I come back and I go straight into my raid for 4 to 5 hours, and then there's like an hour afterwards because I was the guild master. I am the guild master still, and you know, I had to talk to them and work out different problems, etc. And it was just too much WoW, right? And so I ended up taking a break. And it's like falling out of love and falling out of interest with a game that you've invested over a decade into is really something. I'd be lying if I said it didn't affect me. It really, really bothers me. It upsets me a lot. And I don't even know. I don't know if the game's ever going to get better. I have no idea. Classic is good, but I want the actual game to be better. I want the new game to be developed with the philosophies of Classic WoW. Classic WoW will make me happy, but it won't solve the problem for me. Like, I've thought about this a lot. I think about it every day. It's been something that I've devoted, as I said, 30,000 hours into. Some of that's AFK, but a lot of it's not. And it's really, really disappointing for me to see what's happened. And yes, that has also affected my motivation to stream. Do I care about these other games? To an extent. I mean, like some of them, yeah, like I like Dark Souls. But I've always been really passionate about playing one game and being really good at it. And, yeah, okay, yeah, right, I'm not good at WoW. But trying to be good at it. Before I played WoW, I played Halo 2. Before I played Halo 2, I played Smash. And before I played Smash, I was a fucking kid. I was in elementary school. That is my entire gaming history for the past, like, almost 20 years. Is, like, a handful of games. I've never really played any other games besides that. And it shows because I'm not really very adept at, adapting to different things in games because I'm not used to playing a large variety of them. And it's not something that I particularly enjoy a lot. And that got me to the point in my stream where I was making these, I was doing these streams and I was playing these games that I didn't really want to play, and my audience wasn't really liking it either. So I asked myself, it's like, what are you doing this for? Who are you doing this for? You're not doing it for yourself, right? For Apex, for example, Apex Legends, I love Apex Legends, and I can play that on stream all the time, and I don't care how well my stream does because I'm having fun. But if I'm going to play a game that I don't like, and if my stream's not going to like it either, what the fuck is the point? Why would I do this? And especially if it's not something that I really feel compelled to do. So that led me to a point where I asked myself, well, what do I really want to do with my streams? And I went over and I thought about doing IRL streams. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the gardening stream and we'll just see how it goes. And at this point, I had kind of already decided that I'm probably going to take a break afterwards, just because I felt like I needed it and it was the right thing and the right time for me to do it. And I do the gardening stream. I genuinely think it's probably the best stream I've ever done. It was ridiculous, funny, hilarious. I watched it a couple of times to be like, okay, what did I do here, etc. And I genuinely think it was probably some of the best content that I've ever made. And I'm going to keep doing it. That's what I'm going to keep doing. My plans are, I am going to come back probably in like a week or so, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, somewhere around then. I'm going to do WoW. I'm going to play some WoW. I'm going to play, I will play Sekiro. Shut the fuck up. People ask me about that every day. Yes, I will play the game, okay? Now, I can't guarantee I'll finish it. I mean, fuck. I might just quit on the tutorial again. But I will buy the game and it will be on stream at one point or another, and I will see if I enjoy it or not. I got to the point also, like, I'm a creative person. I've always created things. Whenever I was 12 years old, I taught myself how to animate and use Flash so I could animate my own little skits and everything. I had a video camera whenever I was 11 years old. I have a video on my channel here, like my content creator, like 20 years of making content for me, and I'm only 28, right? As soon as I could basically do it, I started trying to make content for other people. It's been a lifelong passion of mine, and I felt like streaming, it turned that passion into resentment, and I really didn't like how that was making me feel, because this has been, in a way, like my life's work, right? Just like making these videos and making this content, and if I resent that and I don't like what I'm doing, I feel like I really needed to take a step back and decide, well, what do you want to do? And I want to do more IRL videos, more IRL streams. I'm going to do a lot of those. And I didn't care if the stream went well or not. I remember I turned the stream on and off like 3 or 4 times. Like, that kills your viewer count. I was just like, fuck it, dude, I'm chilling, I'm having a good time, right? Like, I love doing that kind of stuff. And I really, really had fun doing that, and that's why I want to do more of it. And it was the first time in a long time that I really felt free, and I felt like being on camera was more freeing than it was constricting. And it's something that I really want to explore and create more content about. I want to do more than what I have been doing. And I want to do something to where I want to be online more, right? I want to stream more hours. I want to play more. I've been playing a lot of Path of Exile. I'd love to play that on stream. I don't know how interested people would be on that, but we'll see what happens. Same with Apex Legends. Streaming WoW was okay, but it felt like all I was doing was complaining about the game. BFA sucks, yeah, but, I mean, okay. I like to minimize the days of me complaining about BFA and the current state of WoW to like maybe 1 or 2, rather than like 5. So that's also another goal. I love watching videos on stream, by the way. Some people think that's lazy content. It is. I still like doing it. It's easy, it's funny, I like watching the videos, it's just cool. And I'll do a little bit of that too. But I plan on doing basically more IRL stuff, maybe a few different games, etc. I've thought about, an idea floated in my mind is Meltdown Monday, which is where I'll play other games besides WoW, or, besides like, my main games, and just see how it goes, and people can log on and expect a shit show, and so whenever it doesn't happen, that way they'll be disappointed rather than whenever I start the game and I just don't do it as usual. So those are my plans. That's what I'm going to do. That's where I'm coming from. That's why I took a break. It had nothing to do with my girlfriend, etc. Right? If anything, I would have taken a break whenever she was here, rather than now whenever she's not here. If it was because of her, right? The truth is, it was just that one event with the Ambien just really fucked me up, and there's just like a mental toll it was taking on me, not being able to just take a step back and reevaluate my life. And as things got more and more frustrating for me, like variety streaming kind of brought out that element of my personality, because I couldn't really just mask it by, I get really mad very easily. Like, I'm just gonna say that, like, straight up. Like, I used to beat my head with a controller, then I got older and I beat my head with a keyboard, and now I do a little bit of both, okay? Like, it's how I am, right? And I get really, really pissed off, and if there's something that's bothering me, that comes out at that point. And so I don't really want to do something that's going to bring out that negative perspective and, part of me. But now that I've done that, I did kind of want to share the real reason why I feel that way, why I feel the way that I feel. And it's, as again, nothing that I don't think anybody really guessed at all, but that's the real reason. Take it or leave it. Either way, guys, thanks a lot for watching. If you've watched this long, sorry. But, sorry I couldn't make the video shorter, but I just wanted to sit out here and just kind of talk and give out my legitimate, real thoughts and feelings. So guys, that's the plan. I'll be coming back probably within like a week or so, and maybe shorter, maybe longer, more IRL, some actual WoW streams, gameplay, other games too, and I've got a couple of other plans too that I don't really want to share yet, but I'm also pretty excited for. And yes, we will be continuing the gardening segment. I'm thinking about doing that in the mornings on like Saturdays or something like that. We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I do really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's supported me for all this time. It really means a lot. Whenever I sit back and I think about it, it's truly incredible. So thank you to everyone. I don't know what I'd be doing without you guys. Maybe I'd be a productive member of society. Thank God that doesn't happen. So either way, thanks all for watching, boys, and I'll see you soon.